The unseen energy of missing someone. What Carl Jung knew about soul-level longing. You ever get that feeling suddenly, out of nowhere, like someone's thinking of you, like a memory that wasn't yours just drifted through your heart? Maybe it wasn't a coincidence. Maybe it was them, missing you. On a soul level, we tend to think of missing someone as something personal, emotional, internal. But what if it's not just your experience? What if it's energy, a frequency, that doesn't just sit inside someone's mind, but reaches out unspoken, felt? Carl Jung once said, "The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed." What does this mean? That deep human connection, especially soul level, doesn't vanish when people separate. It echoes, it vibrates, it pulls. When someone misses you deeply, not just out of boredom or nostalgia, but from the soul, you feel it, even if you can't explain it. Carl Jung gave us a word for this: synchronicity. The seemingly random events that feel anything but. The dream you had about them, the same night they thought of you, the song that plays just when they pop into your mind, the text you almost sent, only to find a message from them already there. Jung believed the unconscious minds of people could be interconnected, especially those bound by emotion. This wasn't fantasy. This was psychology beyond the surface, a deeper world where the soul speaks, even in silence. Science is catching up, too. Studies on heart coherence and quantum entanglement reveal that energetic bonds, yes, even between people, may exist outside time and space. But you've felt this already, haven't you? That wave of emotion that isn't yours. That sudden urge to cry without a reason. That heaviness in your chest, like someone's reaching for you with their pain. It's not just intuition, it's resonance. And when someone misses you on a soul level, the universe becomes a messenger. This isn't about superstition. It's about subtle cues that bypass logic and reach your emotional body. Here are the strange signs you may begin to notice. 1. You think about them at odd hours, especially out of nowhere. You're not consciously reaching for a memory, but their face flashes in your mind while you're folding laundry or staring out a window. Not sadness, just presence, as if their soul brushed yours. Jung wrote, "There is no coming to consciousness without pain." And sometimes, what you feel in that moment isn't nostalgia. It's their absence being felt by you. 2. Your sleep becomes restless or dream-heavy. You may wake up in the middle of the night with no reason, or find yourself dreaming of them, not just once, but over and over. These dreams often feel vivid, emotional, or oddly timed. Their soul may be reaching through the unconscious, the only place where words can't lie. 3. Songs, numbers, and names reappear without prompting. You hear your song. You notice their birth date on a receipt. Their name shows up on a show you're watching, even if it's obscure. These are emotional anchors, and when they miss you deeply, the universe seems to drop reminders into your reality, not to torture you, but to connect you. Not every sign is confirmation, but the timing, too poetic to ignore. 4. You feel unexplainably emotional, without context. A sudden wave of longing, a tear that escapes while you're feeling fine. A sense of emptiness, like someone is calling your name, but not with words. When someone is missing you deeply, that longing sends emotional frequencies. You may be empathically attuned to them, especially if the bond once ran deep. 5. Your body reacts in ways that feel foreign. Tightness in your chest, a stomach flip that doesn't match the moment, goosebumps when you're not cold. The body doesn't lie, and according to Jung, the unconscious speaks through symbols and somatic cues, not words. So, when you feel them physically, it may be a message. Their energy still lingers. You may ask, if they miss me that deeply, why haven't they reached out? Because soul-level longing isn't always conscious. People can miss you without fully understanding why. They can feel your absence, but be too afraid to confront their own wounds. Jung taught that when the shadow isn't integrated, People run from what triggers it, even if it's love. So, if someone's missing you from the soul, but hasn't come forward, it may be their soul knows something their mind isn't ready to face. Yet still, the universe keeps sending signs. 1. Pause, acknowledge it. Don't suppress it. Don't obsess over it. Just say to yourself, I feel them. I release them. 2. Ask, is this mine or theirs? The more healed you are, the more sensitive you become to energy. Ask, is this my longing or someone else's echo through me? 3. Write it down. Record the time. You'll be surprised how often these moments line up with real-world actions, texts, calls, sudden appearances. 4. Don't wait, just witness. Your job isn't to chase, it's to observe. Trust that if the connection is sacred, it will unfold in time. And if you're missing them too, then you're not alone. But here's the truth Jung would want you to remember. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. You must become aware of what's real versus what's projected. Does the connection still serve your growth? Or are you clinging to an energetic memory because it feels safer than healing? Real love does not need to be chased, and soul-level bonds never truly die. They just change shape, sometimes into memory, sometimes into silence, and sometimes into reunion. But whatever form it takes, when someone misses you on a soul level, you'll know. Not because of words, not because of proof, but because the universe whispers through synchronicity, and something in you remembers. Is it real, or are you just hoping? How do you know if they're truly thinking of you, or if you just miss them so much that you're imagining it all? This is where so many people lose themselves, in the echo chamber of longing, in the projection of unhealed love. Carl Jung's most piercing insight into relationships wasn't just about love, it was about illusion. He said, we don't see people as they are, we see them as we are. That means you might not be feeling them. You might be feeling the version of them you've built in your unconscious, especially when they're gone, especially when there's silence, especially when the connection was powerful, but unresolved. So, how do you know the difference between real soul resonance and psychological projection? Let's explore. 1. You feel peace, not just emotionally charged obsession. When someone's truly missing you on a soul level, the energy that reaches you feels common, familiar, soft. It doesn't spike your anxiety. It doesn't flood you with guilt or obsessive replaying. It just rests, like a warm current passing through you. But when it's your own longing being projected outward, it feels urgent. You want to fix it. You need a sign. You need them. That's not spiritual connection. That's your inner child trying to reach the version of them that once made you feel seen or loved or enough. 2. Your dreams are symbolic, not just fantasy. If they appear in your dreams as who they were in loving, cinematic ways, you might be dreaming of the version you miss. But if the dreams are cryptic, strange, or symbolic, they may be messages from the unconscious. Jung believed that dreams bypass the ego and speak from the soul. So, if someone shows up in a way that evokes emotion, but not fantasy, pay attention. Their soul might be visiting, or your psyche might be inviting you to let go. 3. You feel more whole, not less. This is a powerful sign. When someone misses you on a soul level, and the connection is reciprocal, you don't feel drained, you don't spiral, you don't question your worth. You feel more anchored, like something in the universe just reminded you you're still loved. But when it's your own wound replaying itself, you feel emptier the more you think of them. You chase signs instead of witnessing them. You lose your center. You mourned. People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own souls. So, what are you really chasing? Them, or the part of yourself you lost when they left? 4. Time behaves strangely. This may sound mystical, but it's real. When someone thinks of you deeply, time begins to warp. You might notice. You check the time just before they text. You wake up at odd, consistent hours, often matching their time zone. You feel them moments before they appear in your life again. Jungian synchronicity often rides on emotional momentum. If the emotional charge is mutual, time bends to align you even for a moment. But if you're chasing memories from a year ago, that's nostalgia, not synchronicity. The inner danger of false signs. This part is tender, but necessary. When you mistake your own longing for a soul-level message, you can wait for someone who's no longer meant for you. Miss real love unfolding elsewhere. Stay energetically tied to a person who has already moved on. It's not wrong to miss them, but it is dangerous to confuse that pain with purpose. Not every echo is a sign. Not every pull is a path. Sometimes the universe shows you them, to show you, to help you discern whether the signs you're feeling are from them or from your own wounds. Ask 1. Does this feeling make me feel more connected to myself or less? 2. Am I expecting them to return, or am I open to peace? Either way. 3. Is my longing rooted in love or fear of abandonment? 4. If they never reached out again, would I still feel whole? 5. What would happen if I turned this energy inward to love myself more deeply? If your answers come with clarity, you're growing. If they come with pain, you're healing. And if they come with peace, it may be real. You don't need to chase it. You don't need to text them to confirm. You don't even need to know the outcome. If someone misses you on a soul level, the energy has already done its work. It has touched you. It has softened something inside them. And if the path is meant to reopen, it will. As Jung said, what is truly yours will come to you. But it won't come through fear. It won't come through obsession. It will come when you're ready, when both of you are, when their energy reaches you. How to recognize the unseen pull and what to do with it. What if that sudden wave of emotion wasn't just yours? What if it was them, thinking of you, remembering, regretting, reaching? In a world that often dismisses the spiritual, Carl Jung dared to say, we are connected by invisible threads of the unconscious. And when someone truly misses you on a soul level, you don't just think of them, you feel them. You carry the weight of their memory like a pulse in your chest. But how do you know it's real? How do you protect your heart while honoring that pull? Let's go deeper. 1. The energetic bond isn't broken, it's active. Jung described the psyche as a field, a living, dynamic space where thoughts, emotions, and archetypes transmit energy. When someone you've been deeply connected with is thinking about you, especially emotionally or spiritually, you may experience sudden waves of emotion that don't match your current mood, unexplainable longing that arrives out of nowhere, a physical sensation, warmth, pressure on the chest, a flutter in your gut, a thought or memory surfacing repeatedly and vividly. These are not always fantasies. Sometimes they're energetic echoes, the resonance of a bond that still hums beneath the surface of both souls. 2. Mirror moments. When you're feeling them, they're feeling you. Have you ever thought of someone and then received a message or call from them? Felt their name in your mind for days, only for them to reappear suddenly? Seen strange synchronicities, numbers, songs, dreams linked to them? Jung called this synchronicity, meaningful coincidence without a causal explanation. But more than coincidence, it's often a psychic alignment. Two psyches tuning into the same unconscious current, two souls vibrating on the same frequency, even if they're far apart. When that happens, it's not delusion, it's connection. But not all connections are meant to return physically. Some are meant to awaken you spiritually. 3. You receive their energy when you're most still. This is one of the most overlooked truths. You rarely feel their energy when you're distracted, scrolling, rushing. But in the quiet before sleep, in the stillness of a walk, during meditation or prayer, in moments of deep self-reflection, their presence may rush in. Why? Because that's when your own noise stops. That's when your unconscious opens. That's when the bridge between souls becomes clearest. Jung believed the unconscious is most active when the ego steps back. And in those sacred, quiet spaces, you might hear the echo of someone's longing. This is where most people get lost. They feel it, and they chase it. They reach out. They break their silence. They reopen wounds. But spiritual maturity means this. Pause. Breathe. Ask, is this about them or about me? Here's what to do when their energy shows up. 1. Ground yourself. Place your hand on your heart. Breathe deeply. Remind yourself, this is a connection, but I am still whole on my own. 2. Reflect. Don't react. Ask, what memory surfaced? What emotion is here? What might this be revealing in me? 3. Send peace, not obsession. In your heart say, I release you with love. If we're meant to cross paths again, let it be in truth. You're not cutting the connection, you're cleansing it. If you feel someone's energy, and it's real, it's not always a sign to act. Sometimes, it's a sign to heal, to look at the parts of you that still ache, to forgive the version of them that couldn't stay, to understand what part of your soul still craves closure. Jung believed in the union of opposites, that healing happens not through avoidance, but through integration. So, when their presence comes back to you spiritually, it's not just about them, it's about you, your growth, your shana, your wholeness. When to let go, and when to listen. Not every energetic pull is sacred. Some are trauma bonds in disguise. Some are your soul telling you, let this go, you've held it too long. But some are real. Some are the beginning of a soul circle completing itself. Some are a message. You're not forgotten. You're not alone. You're still in the field of love, even if unseen. If this resonated with your soul, don't just keep it in your head. Reflect, journal, reconnect to yourself. And when you're ready, share this. Someone out there might be feeling you in the same way, but not have the words for it. Tap like, subscribe, and save this for when the silence gets too loud. You're never truly alone, and the signs you feel might just be the proof. How to reclaim your energy and step into soul wholeness. At some point, missing someone becomes a prison. But if you listen closely, it can also become a mirror showing you what you've given away, what you've been waiting to receive, and what it's finally time to take back. Let's be honest, even when they're not calling, even when it's been months, even when you've tried to move on, you still feel them. Why? Because the emotional charge was never discharged. The cord was never cut. The lessons weren't integrated. Carl Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. You're not crazy for feeling them. You're not weak for still hoping, but you are being called to something higher. This may be hard to hear, but missing someone, especially deeply spiritually, is often about the version of yourself you were when you were with them. Maybe you felt seen. Maybe you felt chosen. Maybe they mirrored back the love you wanted to believe was real. But when they left or went silent, it wasn't just them you lost. It was the you that bloomed around them. That's the ache you feel. That's what you're still holding on to. Not always the person, but the feeling of finally being enough. We often say we want closure, but closure is rarely about facts. It's about emotional resolution. And most of the time, that doesn't come from the person who left. It comes from you facing the truth you've been avoiding. Ask yourself, what belief did they reinforce in me? That I'm lovable, that I'm not enough. What did I give to them that I've never given to myself? What wound did they touch that still hasn't healed? When you answer those questions with honesty, you begin to close the loop, not just with them, but with the part of yourself that's been looping for years. Let's say it again, louder. Yes, you might still feel them. Yes, their soul might still miss yours. Yes, the signs might be real, but that doesn't mean it's still yours to carry. You can feel someone deeply and still choose yourself completely. You can love someone silently, but refuse to abandon yourself for that love. Jung said, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. That privilege begins when you reclaim your energy. 4. How to reclaim your energy from someone who still lives in you. This is your soul work now. Here's how you begin. Acknowledge the bond. Say, yes, I felt them. Yes, I still do. And that's okay. The psyche resists what it denies. Acceptance is liberation's first breath. Thank the experience. Say, thank you for what you taught me. Even in pain, you showed me what I still needed to heal. This shifts the energetic tone from chasing to closure. Call your energy back. Close your eyes. Picture a golden thread connecting your heart to theirs. Now say, with love, I now call all my energy back to me. Watch that golden light flow back into your chest. You are whole. You were never meant to stay broken. Seal your field. Every day say, I am no longer chasing. I am attracting. What is meant for me already knows the way. 5. When you rise, they feel it too. You want to know the deepest truth. When someone misses you on a soul level, and you begin to rise, they feel that too. The longing turns into awareness. The silence becomes an ache. The energy shifts, and whether they come back or not, you've reclaimed your power. Because the point was never just reunion. The point was remembrance of your light, your worth, your divinity. If you've made it this far, you already know this wasn't just about them. This was about you. The one still searching for signs. The one still feeling someone across space and silence. The one now ready to return to yourself. So, here's your invitation. Tap that heart if this stirred something inside you. Leave a comment if you've ever felt someone you couldn't explain. And share this if you know someone who needs to hear. You're not crazy. You're just waking up to the invisible threads. You are not alone. And maybe, just maybe, they feel you too.